Hi, and thank you for joining me, Shanny Leigh, for this power yoga vinyasa flow. And in this beautiful space, I am currently in the Bahamas working with an organization called All Hands and Hearts, doing disaster relief work after Hurricane Dorian. And so I wanted to take advantage of the beautiful landscape and film a few videos. And for those of you who want to live vicariously through this travel yoga series. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the mat. So we'll get started in Tadasana and mountain pose at the top of our mat, standing nice and strong in your feet. Maybe you start to close your eyes, roll your shoulders down and back, soft in the knees, slight tuck of the pelvis and the tailbone. Let's just take a moment here to center ourselves. Connecting with our breath, maybe for the first time today, depending on maybe it's the morning when you're doing this video, or maybe it's at the night. Let's just take one more round of breath here in stillness. Big inhale in, big exhale out. Maybe you start to find some gentle neck rolls. We'll be doing a fair amount of twisting and binding today, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Let's do one more round of breath here. And then maybe you start to do some shoulder rolls, starting to open up the body. Maybe you switch direction. Let's just do one more moment here. And then come to start to find stillness. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to gently flutter them open. And we'll start our flow with 3 vinyasas, and then we'll jump right into 2 big flow sequences. So as you're ready, arms reach up on your next inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sitting it down to chair pose. Exhale, sit the hips back. Utkatasana. Inhale the breath here, and exhale, fold your hands to the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, hands come to shins or stay on the mat, nice flat back. And exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and step or hop your way back to your plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lowering all the way down the mat. Keep your elbows in, exhale, release, untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back. Baby Cobra, Bhujangasana. Just lift the chest as you breathe in. And exhale, start to tuck the toes. Lift it up and send your hips back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, heels lift to prep, gaze forward, bend your knees, and exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, Utkatasana, chair pose, exhale, sit the hips down. Inhale the breath here, and exhale, fold it to the mat. Rolling all the way up, inhale, reach up into the sky, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And exhale, hands come back to your chest, speeding it up and increasing it. Inhale, arms reach up again, fold it down. Halfway lift, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, sit it down, exhale. Inhale here, exhale, fold. Inhale to prep, bend the knees, and step or hop your way back to plank. Inhale, reach your way forward, exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Rising Cobra, roll the shoulders back, pull the elbows back, shine the entire chest into the sky. And exhale, downward facing dog. Use your core to lift your hips and send them back. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward, and step or hop again. Back to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, finding our chair pose. Sit, hip back, arms reach up into the sky. One round of breath here. Exhale, side out. Inhale, stand all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands down by your side. One more time, inhale, arms sweep up towards the sky. And exhale, they fold to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Chair pose, sit it back. Inhale, exhale, fold. Prep on your breath in, finding Cobra in the spine, and bend the knees to prep your way to step or find your way in a hop to plank. Shifting your weight forward, this time lower halfway down, elbows stay in Chaturanga, untuck the toes. Hips stay lifted as you shine your chest forward. And then exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's stay here. Maybe you start to pedal it out. Let's just take 2 more rounds of breath. 1 more round of breath. Like I said, we're just gonna jump right into it today, or at least let something go, find stillness. And then left foot stays, inhale, right leg lifts up into the sky, bend your knee, open it to scorpion like your dog. Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Give that nice hip stretch, try to stay square in the shoulders. Your left heel can be on or off the mat. 1 more round of breath, and then we'll bring our knee to the outside of our right elbow. Shifting forward into a plank, you can also do this on your left knee. Exhale, shift forward into a plank or tabletop. Kiss the outside of your elbow and take it back as you breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, shift forward. Inhale. And last time, exhale and stay here. So your knee is resting right above your elbow. Left heel is pushing back. And now we're going to do 5 little chaturanga push-ups. Exhale, lower and lift. 2, lower and lift. 3, twice more, keeping the elbows in. Once more, lift it up, and then step your foot all the way outside of your hand, coming into lizard pose. Take a second here, get this nice hip flexor stretch. If you want to move around, you can. 1 more round of breath here. Now, option to stay here, or option to lower down onto your elbows. Strengthening into the shoulders, actively press the earth away. Trying to find as flat and straight of a back as possible. So if you feel like you're really arching, just stay on your hands. Let's do 1 more round of breath here. Side out. If you're on your elbows, slowly make your way back to your hands. Back heel back and down 90 degrees as if you're coming into warrior 2 in the legs. Keep your right hand on the mat. Inhale, open the left arm to the sky. So now take a round of breath here. An option to stay, or option to find a bind by sinking your right shoulder towards the level of your knee, turning your top palm around, dropping your hand behind your low back, and reaching under your front leg to find a bind. Maybe you gaze up, maybe you gaze straight ahead. Let's do 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, side out, release the bind if you haven't, and we'll lift into warrior 2, pressing into the front heel. Use your oblique to pull yourself up and settle in, Virabhadrasana Dos. Gazing over your front fingers, pressing into the outer edge of your back foot, sinking towards 90 in the front leg. Tailbone again is still tucked. Breathe in and out here, 1 more round of breath. Exhale. And now drop your back hand, lift the front arm up overhead, reverse your warrior. An option to stay here, or option to find a bind behind your low back. And then maybe you drop your top hand behind your head. Getting a nice stretch here. Maybe you continue to sink lower in your front leg. Let's do 1 more round of breath. Side out. Unwind, come back to your warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten the front leg, turn both the toes in towards the long edge of the mat, and forward fold. Exhale, release. Sinking the crown of the head towards the mat. Let's take 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And then right hand stays on the mat, right underneath you. Inhale, open the left arm to the sky. Find a twist. If this isn't available to you, you can come up higher. You can have your hand on your knee, just trying to open up the chest. Let's do 1 more round of breath here. And then exhale, hand comes back to the mat and switch. Left hand stays, right arm opens up, twist. If you want to get more into the legs, you can turn your toes in. Just adds a little bit of a stretch. An extra stretch. 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, both hands back to the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift. If your toes are in, point them back towards the long edge of the mat, and we'll go side lunge towards the top and then the back of our mat. As you're ready, exhale, bend towards the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up. You can use your hands or not. Exhale towards the back. Inhale, lift. You can float them out if you want. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, lift. One more time towards the front of the mat. Inhale, and take it towards the back of the mat. Exhale. Now stay here in your half squat. You can rest your elbow on your knee, or you can lift your front toes and really squat down into Skandasana. Maybe your arms reach up. Now you'll see some teachers say, oh, have your foot on the mat. Mine doesn't work that way, so mine's lifted. And now maybe we'll find a twist. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Your left hand stays, right arm opens up. If I'm opposite of you, just your same knee bent and hand to the mat. And now maybe you stay here, or maybe you find a bind by sinking your shoulder towards your knee, wrapping your arm around, and wrapping the top arm around. Breathing here. Let's do one more round of breath. If you have a bind, slowly release it. Hands come back to their extension. And then with one big push, hands come back to center as you lift back up and fold it forward. Exhale, release. One more round of breath. And then walk your hands out nice and straight. Inhale, flat back, lift it up. Turn the heels in, toes out. Exhale, squat it down. Devyasana, goddess pose. Hands at your heart or out wide. Take a round of breath here. Maybe you sink a little lower. Everything's nice and in line. One more round of breath. And then drop your hands to the inside of your legs. Inhale, puff your chest forward, and then exhale, drop your right elbow in towards the mat. Your right shoulder, not your elbow. One more round of breath here. Come back through center, inhale, and dip the other shoulder in. One more round of breath. Bring it back center. Inhale, straighten everything back out. Devyasana, goddess pose. Last round of breath here. Maybe you sink just a little bit lower. And then inhale, star pose, lift it up. Turn your toes back towards the long edge of the mat. And now take your back hand and let it swing you all the way through into a high lunge towards the top of your mat. Anjaneyasana, or crescent lunge. Take one more round of breath here, and then we'll find cactus arms and a dip. Option to do all or none, or just one. As ready, palms out. Exhale, dip the back knee down, open the chest. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, dip. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, bring it back up, and hands come to the mat. Find your way back to plank. Move through your style of a vinyasa flow. You can lower halfway or all the way down. You can do Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, hips off the mat, or Cobra, hips on the mat. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Feel that nice stretch. Let's do one more round of breath here, and then we get to do that all on the other side. Exhale, let something go. If you fell out of a pose or couldn't, quote unquote, do something, that's okay. Just do what feels good in your body. Right foot stays, left leg lifts, and open. Scorpion leg, your three-legged dog. Try to keep, again, shoulders nice and square on the mat, or to the mat. Let's do one more round of breath here. Lift the knee higher, and we'll bring knee to the outside of the left elbow. Exhale, shift forward into a plank, or drop your knee into tabletop kiss. And inhale, extend back. Twice more. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, hold here. And now we'll find our little push-ups. I like to rest my knee right above my elbow, and then exhale, dip, and back up. 4 more times. Exhale, and back. Thrice more. Twice more. Last time. Lift it back up, and then step your left foot outside of your left hand and find lizard pose if you need to adjust on your mat. Take the stretch. And you can find movement by rocking back and forth. You can just really push your back heel back. And now option to stay here, or option to come onto your elbows. Breathing here. Taking an active rest, right? You're still actively pushing into your elbows. You're still holding yourself up with your leg. But you're also getting a nice static stretch. Just take one more round of breath here. Side out. Come back onto your hands if you were on your elbows. And then turn your back heel back and down. Left hand stays, right arm opens up. Take a twist. Wherever you are, feel your environment around you. If you are outside like I am, feeling the sun. If you're inside the shelter, one more round of breath. An option to stay here, option to turn your back around, sink your front shoulder towards your front knee, and find a bind behind your back. Again, maybe your gaze is up, maybe your gaze is down, grinding down through the front heel. If you find yourself gripping in your toes, try to press more of your weight into your heel. One more round of breath here. If you have the bind, slowly start to release and press into the front heel. Use your obliques to lift up. Find warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Sinking towards 90 in the front leg, grinding down on the outer edge of the back foot, gazing over your front fingers. Shoulders are away from your ears so they're not up and crunched. Finding space in the shoulders. Invite the burn. One more round of breath. And then we'll find Viparita Virabhadrasana, reversing our warrior backhand back and down. Lift the front arm up, and maybe you find your bind behind the low back. Maybe you drop your top hand behind your head. Again, try to notice where you're holding tension, where you don't need to. Maybe it's in your face, maybe it's in your toes. One more round of breath. And then come back to your warrior two. Arms reach back out to the T. Inhale, straighten the front leg, turn both toes towards the long edge of the mat. I am going to rotate so you don't stare at my back. And exhale, fold forward, prostrate the Padottanasana. Take a big breath here. And exhale out. Again, option to turn your heels out, toes in. And if you want to find a bind in the shoulders, arms reach out like a plane. Bring your hands behind your back at your sacrum, interlace your fingers, and drop your hands up overhead. Breathing here. Maybe with each exhale you find a little bit more release. Last round of breath. Exhale, side out. If you have the mind, slowly release your hands back to the mat. And then we'll find our side lunges. Inhale, halfway lift, and lunge towards the front of the mat. Exhale. Inhale, lift it up, and exhale towards the back of the mat. Side lunge. Again, you can float your hands if you want. Exhale towards the front. Inhale. Exhale to the back. Once more. Coming through center to the front. Coming through center to the back. And again, maybe you hold here, or maybe you find your version of Skandasana pose. Heel down or up, turning your front toes towards the sky. Maybe you open your arms, maybe they're at heart center. Maybe they're lifted up, doing some type of mudra. Or if you want, you can find the bind, bringing your right hand down to the mat, opening the left arm to the sky. And maybe you stay here, or maybe again you drop your right shoulder towards your right knee and loop your hands around your back to find the bind. Keeping your chest open, so if you feel like you're caving, just come out of it a bit, or you can use a towel or a strap behind the back to add a little more space. One more round of breath. If you have the bind, slowly release it. Find your extension again. Inhale. Exhale, everyone's hands come to the mat. Make your way back up. Big push. Fold it forward, exhale. Rise all the way up, nice straight arms. Inhale, finding our goddess pose, toes out, heels in. Exhale, squat it down. Again, I'm going to turn around so that you don't just stare at my back. And now take one more round of breath here, and then bring your hands behind your head. So we have a few options. We can either reach our hand down behind our foot, or elbow to knee, side to side to do crunches. So as you're ready, inhale the breath, bring your hands behind your head, exhale. One more inhale, and either dip your right knee and elbow together or reach down and tap the mat. Inhale back up, taking it to the other side, exhale. 4 more times, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 3 more, inhale, and exhale. Breathe it in, breathe it out, reach. Breathe in, or you can just do an elbow to knee. Exhale. The last one, bring it through center, reach down, touch, bring it back, and reach down, touch, bring it back. Take one more round of breath here. In your goddess pose, maybe you sink a little lower, maybe you lift the heels. Invite the challenge. One more round of breath here. And then heels down, exhale, reach it up, inhale, arms reach up into the sky, and take your back hand and let it swing you all the way back to the top of your mat, sink into your front knee, high crescent lunge. Catch your breath here. Let's do one more round, and then we'll find our cactus arm pulses. As you're ready, exhale, bring it down, feeling the shoulder blades move together, and then inhale back up. Exhale, and inhale. Once more, exhale, inhale, and hands to the mat. Find your way to plank, get off your legs. Woo, feel that sweet relief. Inhale, shift your weight forward, elbows stay in, chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, drop the hips, shine your chest forward as you breathe in. And exhale, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Hips go up and back. Take the stretch. Option to take a child's pose here, but we won't be here for much longer. One more round of breath. Big sigh out. And we'll be jumping up into Malasana or garland pose, yogi squat. So as you're ready, inhale, lift. The heels bend, the knees gaze forward, and we'll step both feet out in one into our yogi squat, sitting the hips down, bringing the hands together. If this doesn't work in your body, you can just do step, step, and do a little half squat. Take one more round of breath here. Exhale, sigh it out. And then we'll rise all the way up into Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, reach up into the sky, nice big lift. And exhale, hands, heart center. Start to turn your toes towards the front of the mat, readjust into your mountain pose, and side up. Take one more round of breath here, and then we'll get to a little balance sequence. I'm really fighting the wind here with my mat. So since we just had the left foot forward, we're going to start with the left foot so that we have our right foot forward, giving your legs a little of a break. You are welcome. Right foot stays. Inhale, standing staff, left leg rises up. Take a round of breath here, finding a nice tall, long spine. And we'll do what's called a Shiva squat, where we dip our knee behind the other one and do like a little half squat. So we'll do that 5 times. As you're ready, exhale, bend the right knee, dip your left behind, maybe touch, maybe not, and inhale, come back. 4 more times. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, your hands can also be at heart center. You can touch back if you need. Inhale, twice more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, dip, 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 and now step your foot all the way off towards the right. Right hand grabs left wrist. Find a nice little side extension here, leaning towards the right. Let's take one more round of breath here, and then we'll come back into standing staff to go into warrior 3. Release your grip, exhale. Press into your front foot. Inhale, lift your leg back up into the sky. Take a round of breath here, and now start to kick your foot back as you reach forward, finding Virabhadrasana 3. Keep the stomach in, shoulders by ears, or I should say biceps by your ears. Back heel is lifted. You can also have your hands heart center or out like a plane if that works better for you. One more round of breath. And then exhale, let your hands come to the mat, finding standing splits. Inhale, find cobra in the chest, inhale. Exhale, fold. Twice more, inhale, lift, and fold. Last time, inhale. And now hold here, exhale. Keep your left hand on the mat. Open your right arm to the sky. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon pose. Take one more round of breath here, and the option to stay or option to bend your back leg and find a bind. Continue to breathe here. Take one more round of breath, and you can look up or down or whatever you want. And we're going to do a one-legged jump back to plank. First, coming back into our standing splits. Release the bind if you haven't. Square your chest back off to the mat. Shine your chest forward, and then bend your knee to plant your hands and jump back with the right leg, floating the left. And then maybe you move into a one-legged chaturanga. Then drop both feet to the mat as you shine your chest forward, ears away from shoulders. And exhale. Downward facing dog. Take one more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. And then we'll roll back into a plank to do a few push-ups. Start to undulate your body forward on an inhale. And tricep push-ups, you can option to be on your knees as long as your back stays relatively in the same position. Keep your elbows in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Just twice more. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Taking it to our yogi squat. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward, and step both feet out. And sink the hips down, Malasana garland pose. Catch your breath here. And another. Last round of breath. And then rising all the way up. Inhale, press into the heels, arms reach up into the sky. And exhale, hands come heart center. And start to adjust back towards mountain pose. And we'll do that all on the other side. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. One more round of breath. Side out. This time left leg stays. And on your inhale, arms sweep up. Right knee lifts up into the sky, standing staff. Hold here. Shoulders away from ears. Pretend that you're maybe holding a ball between your hands. Pinkies rotate in. Spine is nice and long from tailbone to the crown of your head. And we'll find our 5 Shiva squats. As you're ready, exhale, bend or squat, and inhale, lift. Exhale, maybe you stare in front of you, maybe you stare about 3 feet on the mat, or 3 feet in front of you on the ground. Number 3, bring it back up. Option to have your hands at your heart for balance, option to touch back or to float. The last one, exhale, squat, and this time step your foot all the way off to the left. Left hand grabs right wrist. Find a lateral extension. Let's just do one more round of breath here. Before we bring it back into standing staff to prep for warrior 3. Release the grip, press back into your front foot. Inhale, lift your front knee back up into the sky. And then exhale, float it back. Finding Virabhadrasana 3, lifting with your back glute. Arms extend out or at your heart center. Belly button draws in. One more round of breath. And then exhale, find your hands to the mat and shine your chest forward. Inhale as if you're finding cobra. Exhale, bow your head. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Keep your back leg lifted. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift back up into your standing splits. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, open the left arm to the sky. Maybe you look up. Maybe you look down, revolved Ardha Chandrasana. If you have a block, you can do this under your hand. And then if you want to find a bind, reach for your back foot. And then reopen the chest. Again, maybe you look up, maybe you look down, maybe you look towards the wall. If you fall, that's okay. Keep your shoulder open. One more round of breath. Slowly release, come back to your standing splits. Inhale, and then one-legged chaturanga, hop back or step back. Finding your left foot back into a plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Untuck the toes. As you drop them to the mat, shine your chest forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take one more round of breath here. Big sigh out. And taking it forward back into plank. Inhale, undulate your body, and we'll find 3 more tricep dips. First, set your plank up, push energy through your heels, keep your elbows in, and exhale, lower halfway, and lift. Twice more, exhale, and push. The last time, down, and lift, and downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Inhale, prep, and finding Malasana, exhale, bend the knees, squat. Jump and squat towards the top of your mat. Let's take one more round of breath here. And adding a little bit of a bind. Side out. And now your right hand goes long. Open your left arm to the sky. Option to stay here or to turn your palms around and find a bind. Keeping your chest open, so if you find yourself caving, maybe you use a strap. Just do one more round of breath here. Slowly release, open up, and bring it back center. Readjust as needed, and we'll take it to the other side. Other hand extends out and opens. Option to stay here, or option to bind. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. 1 more round of breath. Slowly release whatever you have, open up. Bring it back to your yoga squat. 1 more round of breath here. And we'll bring it all the way up. Inhale, arms reach up into the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Whoo. Exhale, hands come down center. And to your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Roll the shoulders down and back. Maybe you close your eyes, do a little check-in. Let's do 1 more round of breath before we start to take it to the mat. Revisiting chair pose to help us make our way down. Inhale, arms reach up. Utkatasana, sit your hips back. Maybe you start to walk your feet together. Take 1 more round of breath here. And now hands come heart center. Exhale, prayer pose. Anjali Mudra. 1 more round of breath. And now we'll twist towards right, hooking the outside of our left elbow towards the outside of our right knee. Try not to drop one hip one time, or sometimes one hip will drop or try to realign itself. Maybe you gaze up. Trying to keep the knees in line with each other here. Actively pressing into your hands. 1 more round of breath. And then bring it back center, and we'll twist to the other side. Maybe you smile. You're gonna actively press into your hands. Let's do 1 more round of breath, and we'll take it to boat pose, Navasana. Inhale, bring it back center. Exhale here. Inhale, arms reach out again, and exhale, sit it all the way down, and immediately lift your legs. And your knees can be bent, you can be grabbing behind your legs, they can be straight. And hold here. If you want to do pulses, you can. I'm on concrete, and I fractured my tailbone when I was in high school, so it just doesn't work in my body. But you can do pulses out if you want. Let's just do 2 more rounds of breath here. Sitting up nice and tall, 1 more round of breath. And exhale, let the soles of your feet come to the mat. Grab around your knees, sit up nice and tall. Big sigh out. 1 more big breath in. And big sigh out. Arms reach up, inhale, and bring your hands behind you. Fingers pointing in or out, whatever feels better. Exhale, come into reverse tabletop. Bring your feet to hip distance apart. Adjust to where you feel good in the body, and we'll lift our hips up 5 times, trying to squeeze with the kind of top of our hamstring and bottom of our glute, not so much our low back. As you're ready, roll the shoulders back, and inhale, lift, and exhale down. Not twice more, 4 times more. Inhale, and exhale. Sometimes I do things in 3s and 5s. Inhale, this is number 3. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift, and now hold here. 4 more rounds of breath. Really pushing into the hips. Maybe your head goes back slightly. 3 more rounds of breath. Invite the shaking. Last round of breath, and now we'll swing our hips back by our hands. If you need to sit down, that's okay, as you roll onto your heels. As you're ready, exhale, start to bring your hips by your wrists, rolling onto your heels, and take it back. 4 more times. Exhale, and inhale, tabletop. Reverse tabletop, twice more. And in. And exhale, hold here. Actively push the ground away. This can also help if you have blocks. 1 more round of breath, and then we'll try to lift our legs. As you're ready, point your right foot, inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Point your left toes, inhale, lift. And down. Maybe you try to lift both. I can only get it for like a second. And then exhale, sit your hips down. Arms reach up, inhale. Whew. Exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana. Catch your breath. Exhale, side out. Once more. And out. Roll back up. Inhale, bring your left knee with you. Cross it over your right knee. Left hand goes behind. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And exhale, find a twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes pose. So we're going to move into something called baby grasshopper. If it doesn't work in your body, just do what you can. It can be a little confusing to cue. 1 more round of breath here. And then start to unwind the arms. And now take your right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches up, and now cross the other way. Twist to the other way. It's an option to just stay here, or the grasshopper will be taking our left hand and reaching for our right foot, and then we're going to rock our body forward. So I'm going to turn so you can see what that looks like. As you're ready, start to point your fingers, your right fingers, towards the long edge of your mat. Your elbow is in, and you want to create kind of like a shelf with your arm. Your toes, your left toes can kind of be pointing however feels good. And then take your left hand, reach and try to grab your right foot. And once you have that, start to lift your leg and shift your weight forward. Baby grasshopper. Maybe you look out at your toe. If that doesn't work in your body, it's totally okay. 3 more rounds of breath here. 2 more rounds of breath. Last round of breath. And sit it down. Take a second, unwind the legs. And we'll take that all on the other side. This time, right knee bends. Cross it over your left knee, finding the twist, right hand behind, left arm reaches, and twist. One more round of breath here. And now arms come back up and twist the other way. Left hand behind, right arm twists around your right knee. Feel that nice opening in the chest. And now grasshopper, baby grasshopper. Take your left hand and kind of start to shift on the outside of your hip, finding that shelf with your arm. Reach your right hand for your left foot. And then as you're ready, you're going to shift the weight of your chest forward as you push into your foot and hand. Lifting up, baby grasshopper. Let's hold here for 3 more rounds of breath. 2 more rounds of breath. 1 more round of breath. And then release. Arms reach up and back. And unwind everything. Whew. Take a second, sit up nice and tall here in Dandasana, staff pose. Shoulders roll back and down, hands press into the mat beside your hips. Big sigh out, exhale. Arms reach up, inhale. And start to slowly lower back. Exhale, hold here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Finding your way onto your back if you need to adjust. And we'll all meet in Shavasana pose. Notice your heart rate. Notice any feeling in the body or the mind. Just start to breathe in here. You can stay here. You can extend your hands long if that feels good. Just get a nice big stretch. If you want to find anything else in the body, you can do so now. Or you can just hang out in Shavasana for a few minutes. I'm finding a kind of banana or half moon in my body right now just because it's what feels good. Sometimes, as you notice, I have my little paper of my notes of what I want to do in class, and then other times I kind of just add things along as I go. And since you spend the entire class following my instruction, I want to give you a few moments to find what you want in your body. Maybe that's a longer meditation, maybe that's a few more movements. Just take a few more moments here. If you feel your mind wandering, it's okay. Don't be like, oh, why can't I meditate, or why can't I slow my mind down, right? Those thoughts of self-judgment and shame aren't helpful or transformative. I encourage you to, if you feel yourself mentally wandering, give yourself a gentle reminder of, hey, I can revisit that thought in a bit. I'm going to try to find stillness again. And if that only lasts for a second, that's okay. If you are moving, I do encourage you to find stillness, and we'll take 3 more rounds of breath together here in Shavasana. Letting everything fill up in the belly and out. 2 more. Last one. And release. I welcome you to start to find gentle movement in the body. If you like to come onto your side, you can. Slowly making your way to your final resting pose. If that is still in Shavasana, you're more than welcome to stay there. And we'll meet maybe in Sukhasana, easy seat or lotus pose, hands at your heart center. If you want to do a mudra, you can. You can have hands on your knees, heart center at your third eye. And let's chant Om one time together to round out this power vinyasa flow. So let all your old breath out of your body. Take a nice big breath in and chant together. And thank you for joining me for this Power Vinyasa flow. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy the beautiful scenery. I'm truly grateful for anyone who watches this video. The light in me loves the light in you. Namaste.